You can be permanently banned from a cruise line without ever knowing it. No warning, no email, no explanation. One day, you're trying to book your dream cruise, and the system simply flashes, "Not allowed to book." And the scary part? Many passengers have been blacklisted for reasons that seem completely harmless. In this video, you'll hear real stories from passengers who were completely blindsided when they found themselves banned for life. More importantly, you'll learn exactly what you need to do now to make sure you're not the next name on the blacklist.
But before we dive into the main topic, don't forget to hit that subscribe button to help me reach my first milestone of 1,000 subscribers. It really means a lot and gives me the motivation to keep improving both the content and video editing. Thank you so much.
Number 1. Your child could get you banned from cruising forever. Sometimes getting banned from a cruise line happens most unexpectedly. Last summer, Linda S. found out her entire family had been permanently banned from their favorite cruise line, Carnival Cruise Line, all because of the youngest member of their group. The punishment came after her 9-year-old son left their cabin unsupervised to explore the Carnival celebration on the first night of their cruise. When her son hadn't returned by 10 p.m., Linda began to worry and went looking for him. She was relieved to find him quietly sitting alone in the Miami Slice Pizzeria. She scolded him, he apologized, and there were no signs he had done anything wrong. They returned to the cabin and went to sleep. But at 2 a.m., security knocked on their door. Unbeknownst to Linda, her son had gotten into serious trouble during those unsupervised hours. He had significantly damaged a gaming console and gotten into a physical altercation with another boy. The entire incident had been caught on the ship's security cameras. Carnival security warned Linda that if the family wanted to remain on the cruise, her son would have to be under full supervision for the remainder of the voyage. Linda, mortified, apologized and agreed to keep her son by her side for the next 6 days. There were no further incidents, and she assumed the matter was settled. But it wasn't. On the night before disembarkation, a letter was slipped under their cabin door. They were instructed to remain in the room until further notice the next morning. The following day, 2 crew members arrived with a formal letter printed on Carnival letterhead, signed by the ship's captain and the head of onboard security. Due to the child's aggressive behavior and property damage, he was officially banned, not only from Carnival but from all cruise lines under Carnival Corporation for life. Shocked and embarrassed, Linda offered to pay for the damaged gaming system. She apologized profusely and, understandably, blamed herself for letting her son wander unsupervised. She also shared that her son had ADHD and was supposed to be on medication, but she wasn't able to refill the prescription before the cruise. She believed this contributed significantly to his behavior. Carnival, however, did not waver. Their written response was clear. The boy's behavior interfered with the safety or enjoyment of other guests on the ship or caused harm to Carnival. Your attempt to book a future cruise will result in cancellation and a possible loss of deposit monies. Even after the cruise, Carnival's corporate office upheld the decision. Linda hired a law firm and filed an appeal with Carnival Corp., but the answer remained the same. Honestly, while many cruise lines offer plenty of kid-friendly activities, that doesn't mean children should be left unsupervised. You wouldn't let your young child roam freely through a foreign city, would you? A cruise ship is essentially a floating city, full of strangers and potential risks, and children need to be watched at all times. Number 2. Be careful not to get too friendly with the crew or fellow passengers. When Joyce, a longtime passenger of Norwegian Cruise Line, tried to book her next cruise, she was surprised and deeply disappointed to find her reservation wouldn't go through. She had been hoping to sail once again with the same crew she'd spent time with over the previous 24 months. In fact, Joyce had become so enamored with the staff aboard the Norwegian Gem that she'd collected the personal email addresses of many of them. She told me she had sent personalized thank you emails to more than 30 crew members, letting them know how much she appreciated them and that she looked forward to seeing them again soon. So when her booking wouldn't process, Joyce assumed it was just a system glitch. She called an NCL cruise consultant, only to be stunned by the news. Norwegian Cruise Line had permanently revoked her cruising privileges. She was no longer welcome on any of their ships. Joyce isn't alone. She's one of many cruise passengers who have had similar experiences, where friendly enthusiasm may have been misinterpreted as crossing a professional boundary. On cruise ships, maintaining professional boundaries between crew and guests is crucial, and repeatedly contacting crew through personal channels can be seen as inappropriate, no matter how kind the intentions may be. Number 3. Filing a credit card dispute after your cruise could get you blacklisted. One of the most misunderstood consumer protection tools is the credit card dispute. Disputing legitimate cruise charges after sailing has become an increasingly common reason people end up blacklisted by a cruise line. The Fair Credit Billing Act allows consumers to dispute charges in two specific and legal scenarios. 1. Billing errors or service disputes. You were charged incorrectly or didn't receive the goods or services as promised. 2. Fraud. Charges were unauthorized or fraudulent. However, cruise passengers often misuse this process, attempting to claim refunds for shore excursions or even portions of the cruise fare simply because they were dissatisfied with some aspect of their experience. That's exactly what happened with Christy C., a Norwegian Cruise Line (NCL) passenger. She was upset that her family's two cabins aboard the Norwegian Bliss didn't have a connecting door. The cruise line apologized but said there were no other cabins available. At the end of their 8-day Alaska cruise, Christy continued to voice her frustrations. In response, NCL offered her a $3,000 future cruise credit, $750 per family member, as a goodwill gesture. Christy accepted. But after returning home, she filed a $3,000 credit card dispute with American Express, claiming the cruise line owed her a refund for services not delivered. Amex sided with her, reversing the $3,000 cruise charge. Here's the catch. Cruise vouchers are not cash equivalent, a detail clearly stated in the terms and conditions. Cruise lines often don't respond to credit card disputes, and when that happens, the bank usually closes the case in favor of the cardholder. The charge is permanently reversed, and the consumer walks away thinking they won. But here's what many don't realize. The end of the credit card dispute only ends the bank's involvement. The cruise line, in this case NCL, is still free to pursue the unpaid amount through other means, including debt collection and blacklisting the guest until the issue is resolved. And that's exactly what happened to Christy. After her Alaska trip, the family was eager to book another cruise, but Christy found she couldn't, that she had been blocked from booking any future cruises.